India, very, very tough, very, very tough. Prime Minister just left. He's a great friend of mine, but I said, you're a friend of mine, but you're not treating us right. They charge us 52%. You have to understand, we charge them almost nothing. We're going to have to go through a little tough love, maybe.
This is what US President Donald Trump said after announcing the list of reciprocal tariffs on various countries. During his Liberation Day announcement, Trump imposed a whopping 26% tariff on Indian imports, one of the highest on major US trading partners. Trump's new policy imposes a 10% baseline tariff on all imports, with even higher penalties for countries he says have unfair trade barriers. Why? Because the US wants payback now. Trump wants to make America wealthy again. These US tariffs are set to affect over 50 countries worldwide. So why a 26% tariff on India? Well, as per the US, the rates aim to counter policies like currency manipulation, weak environmental and labor standards, and regulations that limit US exports in foreign markets. Here's a list of key countries with highest US tariffs. European Union 20%, Vietnam 45%, Japan 24%, South Korea 25%, India 26%, Taiwan 32%, Thailand 36%, Switzerland 31%, Sri Lanka 44%, Pakistan 29%, and China 34%. Total tariff rate now stands at 54% for China after including Trump's Feb 20% tariff as well. Russia, despite its $2.5 billion goods trade surplus with the US in 2024, was absent from Trump's tariff list, as per the US Trade Representative's office. Britain, Brazil, and Singapore, which ran trade deficits with the US last year, have been spared high rates and received only the baseline 10% tariff. What about Canada and Mexico? Goods from Canada and Mexico are currently exempt from reciprocal tariffs as Trump's earlier 25% fentanyl-related duties remain in place, along with a 10% tariff on Canadian energy and potash. The 10% baseline tariff will take effect at 0401 GMT on April 5th, while the higher reciprocal tariffs will follow at the same time on April 9th. Now let's understand the pressure of these tariffs on India. Before the new tariffs, US average tariffs were 3.3%, while India's stood at 17% as per the White House. The recent Indian tariff cuts on 8,500 industrial items, including bourbon whiskey and Harley-Davidson bikes, aimed to ease US concerns. India also signaled plans to buy more US oil, LNG, and defense equipment to reduce its trade surplus. However, the new US tariffs increase pressure on India to cut duties further, including on US farm products, and to remove non-tariff barriers like import restrictions. Despite trade tensions, Trump and Modi have maintained strong ties with the US, viewing India as a key regional ally against China. Now coming to the impact of US tariffs on India, US tariffs may make Indian exports less competitive and hurt investor confidence, but experts see a limited impact overall. SBI Research estimates a 3 to 3.5% drop in Indian exports. Goldman Sachs, Nomura, Morgan Stanley, and Fitch highlight India's low reliance on external demand and strong domestic market. India's export diversification, value addition, and new trade routes are expected to offset tariff effects. IMF predicts India will remain the world's fastest growing economy and soon become the third largest. Lower tariffs on India versus Vietnam and Bangladesh may benefit Indian apparel and footwear sectors. Now, what are the exemptions? USMCA compliant goods remain exempt indefinitely, easing concerns for US automakers. This marks a shift from Trump's earlier stance as he initially planned to let the exemption expire this Wednesday. Autos, auto parts, steel and aluminum, which are already facing a 25% tariff under Section 232, will be exempt from new reciprocal duties. This also applies to industries under national security review, including copper, lumber, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals. An annex will detail additional exempt products such as critical minerals and energy. Trump is also invoking the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, also known as IEEPA, to justify new tariffs, a law previously used for sanctions, not trade. Citing the $1.2 trillion US trade deficit, he declared a national emergency, arguing it weakens manufacturing and defense industries. Additionally, Trump also ended de minimis, which is a duty-free exemption for Chinese and Hong Kong packages under $800. This ends the loophole used by e-commerce giants like Shein and Temu. The exemption was delayed due to screening challenges, but enforcement is now set after infrastructure improvements. Well, that's all for today. Stay tuned to ET for more.